hunting arrow. Who cares? Or does everybody care? You know, I've talked to a lot of people who shoot one arrow all year round. I've talked to people that shoot 4 arrows. They change it for everything. They change it for 3D. They change it for ASA. They change it for, it doesn't matter. It's whatever time of the year it is, they're changing it up. They're doing something different. I have always shot the same arrow. I've always done it. I, you know, feel like I'm progressing in like my archery journey, right? And everybody's at different levels in that. Everybody is going through it at their own pace. If you change your arrows up, you're well ahead of me. This video, this is about what hunting arrow I'm running, why I'm running it. Who cares? But for some people that do care, or some people that are on the fence, maybe there's people that, you know, want to see other options, this video is for you. That's what it is. I've been fortunate enough to team up with Easton this past, well, starting at the beginning of the year here. And it's awesome because they have ideas on things, I have ideas on things. It's nice to be able to bounce things off of them. A well-placed shot is a well-placed shot. So what do you build? For me, it's a forgiving setup, right? I'm not gonna pretend I'm the best archer in the world. I'm surely not gonna pretend I'm the best hunter in the world. So where do you go with that? I want something that, you know, my pin gaps are pretty small, so my margin of error is there. I can work with, you know, if you aimed an inch high and you get some wind or a little bit of planing with a fixed head, are you safe? Yeah, you are. You're safe with that, and that's what I want. That's what I want. I want something that in the heat of the moment, if you're not, everything's not nailed down, or you see a bull come out, you're pumped, you're in the moment, you latch on, you're good to go, you full draw. Maybe not everything's perfect. Maybe you're a little hard on your facial pressure. Maybe your nose is a little off. That's fine. That's fine. But a forgiving setup for me in my mind, that's what I want. So what does that look like? So I started off the year thinking in my head, all right, I know I'm going out to New Mexico. I'm going to see Hunters New Mexico, my boys out there, like I have for the last few years. What am I gonna run? 4 mil axis right out of the gate. One, I like 4 mils out west. I like the drag, the lack of drag and wind drift. I love the penetration. If you haven't tried a 4 mil, try it. Because I was like, what's a millimeter? You know, for me, the axis, the 4 mil, I had good luck with it in preseason last year. I loved it shooting again this year. So that was my mind. And then I started talking to some of the guys at Easton. I started talking to some of their engineers and some of their guys that work in the factory, and they were like, I mean, if you're thinking about a 4 mil, but you like the weight and your draw's long enough where you can get speed, right? Like enough speed, optimal speed. Sorry, it's like when you start stuttering and you can't, you know, get a thought out to save your life. Just don't mind me. The axis that I was running was a 250. That puts us at, just to give you an idea, 9.8 GPI. This one. Yeah. So there it is. DCA, 3 Fletch, axis, LR. I went at this point with a aluminum, 50 grain aluminum half out, and you know, obviously the Easton match grade field point. Total build came in 475. Not bad. Pretty quick. Front of center, I can't remember. I want to say it was around, excuse me, like 10%, something like that. So not bad there either. But good arrow, good solid arrow. What if you want more punch than that, right? That's kind of where I'm at. Well, Procomp. So Procomp is a 4 mil also. And for anyone that doesn't know, you know, big difference between the 4 mil Axis long range and the 4 mil Easton Procomp is that the Easton Procomp is an aluminum core wrapped in carbon. So it's kind of like, if you guys know of the FMJs from Easton, that's in, you know, carbon core wrapped in aluminum. It's like an inside out FMJ. They came out with a hunting line of Procomp, and that's what this is. So this is a 250 spine coming in at 10.8. So 10.8, I think it was 9.8, right? Yeah. So you're talking another grain. So on my arrow, you're talking another 29 grains. no problem. The outsert options for you from Easton are the half out, so you can get a 50 grain aluminum, you can get a 55 grain titanium, and then you can get like a, I don't even know, 80 grain like steel. But I don't have any experience with the steel. The aluminums were solid, but I went with titanium for strength. So strength to weight ratio there, titanium is the move. So that's what I went with. Kept it very consistent with the performance coming out of tack, which really was going to be a defining factor for me. I know how these vanes operate and perform from a fixed broadhead perspective. I wasn't sure like super long distances like 120 and beyond. Just because I didn't have any experience with them, not because I had any reservations with the vanes, just because I didn't know how they perform. Typically for me, I like a shorter, lower profile vane, and I typically run that in a 4-fletch for like target situations, like an outdoor 3D or something like that. But this 3-fletch, I do it in like barely a 3-degree offset. This is a dream build. I don't think I even talked about that. This is something that I think the first time I actually saw somebody hunt with these was like I think it might have been Chris B's first elk video. And honestly, that's why I went with the 4mm axis that year. I was like, wow, 4mm, there might be something to that. They are an insane arrow. The tolerance is insane. I haven't found literally one that doesn't spin like glass, which I am not surprised by that. Weight distribution and GPI, 10.8 for a 250, I'm not actually mad at that at all. And I think that's more than reasonable. 10.8 on a 250 shaft that is strong. I mean, it spins, they're insane. I don't think this arrow at this build is going to have a weak point. I don't see it. At least in my opinion, I think as far as a 4mm is concerned, and the offerings from Easton, this Procomp it's an insane arrow shaft. I mean, it's everything that you could love about an LR that's a little beefed up. 100 grain point for elk, I'm gonna run a 1.75 sever, 55 grain titanium. We've got 29.5 inch 250 shaft coming out of a 76 pound V3X at 30.5 inches, microlight knock, 4-inch wrap from DCA Custom Arrows, and the Super Sabers 3-fletch in a 3-degree right offset. 505 for the build. Based on spec, I think this thing is going to come in right where I want it. I'm gonna have close pin gaps, but good kinetic energy, good penetration, and that is really all I'm looking for out of this build for this season for elk out west. That's the name of the game for me. So if you guys stay tuned, and you know, we'll get you some good action of this, maybe some sweet slow-mo stuff. You guys can really see some of this arrow flight, but I guess until the next one,